Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Chairman219, and today I'm going to be making a video on some of the things that you need to know about MLB The Show 16. So, nevertheless, let's get into it. So first, I just want to talk about, of course, the obvious, which is in Diamond Dynasty, they've added two new modes, which is Conquest Mode, and, it's like something Royale. I forget exactly what it's called, but it's a Royale, which is basically you draft a bunch of players, and you basically, you get to open up different packs. You get a diamond pack, a gold pack, a silver pack, a bronze pack, and I believe it's a legends pack. And I think it's just like a special pack, but it might be specifically for legends. And in the diamond pack, you get, well, diamond cards. In the gold pack, you can get golds and diamonds. Diamonds are rare, but you can still get a diamond. Silver packs, you can get silvers and gold cards. I don't know if you can get bronze. I don't think they go down steps when you draft these. I think they just go up one. And then if you open up a bronze pack, you can get bronze and silver. Then there's the never mind. There's no Legends pack. It's a Commons player pack. That's what it was. It's a Commons player pack, which is the common players that you would have, which are usually below a 60 overall. And the reason why they call them common players is because those are the most, common players that you will get when you're opening up packs in the game. So when you open up packs, you see these guys that they're not bronze, they're not silver, they're not gold, and they're not diamond. They're just kind of like a blank card. They don't have any special design to it. That's because that's a common player card. And they're, the ones with the below 60 overall. So you, I guess I could throw out an example. I think Steven Drew might be one this year. I think he's still a silver, though. I don't know about Jason Bourgeois. I'm trying to think of an example. John Ryan Murphy from last year. I believe he was a common player. So if you guys look at him from MLB 15 The Show, you will notice that he's kind of like just a regular card. That's because he's a common player. Many people get him in those packs, and that's because he's such a low overall that the point of having them is so low that, you'll just get them all the time, and, the better the cards, the more rare they're going to be, so, that's why they're called the common players, because there's, 2/3 of the packs that you open, when you open up a pack, about 2/3 of that will be common players, and there'll be like one gold, maybe, so, and, if you're lucky, there'll be like bronze and silver, but those are more common than the golds. I actually get pretty good luck with golds, though. Like, if I just get like one little pack, I usually get a gold and maybe even a diamond. So I'm really looking forward to that Royale mode, because you get a stacked team, and when you open up those packs, there are 4 players per pack, and in those 4 players, you get to choose one. Now, they may repeat, and you may come back later up in another pack, but if you want to compare like Joey Votto, he's a diamond this year. He's like a 91 overall, something like that. He has a really high contact, and a pretty high power from what I saw of the overall and ratings. He probably has like something around like the 80s power and up in the 90s in contact. If you have like a comparison of Joey Votto versus someone like Mike Trout or Bryce Harper, someone of that caliber, you will be looking for, because it's a hard choice. I could also throw in someone else in there, like, let's see here, who else is going to be a diamond? Like, Jose Altuve, he might be a diamond this year. You will be wanting to go for the one who is better all around, probably. And if you have a pick, I'll tell you what, switch hitters are going to be key this year. So if you can get a hold of a switch hitter, you're pretty much set, because a lot of people in this mode are going to be picking up lefties and righties. And there'll be a lot of lefties being thrown in, specifically in the bullpen, which is really cool. And things. And basically, you just go up the ranks in that mode. And nobody has the same team, which is what's really cool about that mode. Moving on to Conquest mode, that is basically, I believe I'm doing this right. Wait. Yeah, I believe I'm doing this right. Conquest mode is the one where you have the United States map, and you have the teams, not exactly where they're located on the map, but they've done their try to do their best and locate every team, and sometimes they have to space it out a little bit, because some teams are like right on top of each other, like the Los Angeles team, the California teams, like the Athletics, the Angels, the Dodgers, and you really want, the Padres too. Don't want to leave them out. They're all spaced out. In New York, like you have the Yankees, they're up by Canada, like that part of New York, like right on the border, and then the Mets are by like down there, more in like the New York City area, kind of down by Long Island and everything. So some of these teams are really spaced out. I know in like Ohio, you have the Indians up there by not really at Lake Erie. It's just the Great Lakes in general. And then the Reds are like, a bit down, like kind of like where Kentucky would really be, but they kind of have to space it out, because what you're doing is you're stealing fans from other teams, and you're trying to build your popularity and make it expand it, and make it huge, like kind of like Donald Trump. He wants to make things huge. So you're gonna, like, instead of building a wall and making it huge, you're gonna build your like team and make it huge, and you're gonna be playing only against the computer MLB teams, and so let's say you want to. Now I don't know if it's automatically picked your location where you're at. I don't think it is, but it might be. And basically, what you want to do is you want to take out teams like the Brewers, the Reds, you want to take out the Royals. I would really, start with teams like the Rays. And I would start with, who else is a team that's not too good? The Indians. And I would start, working my way up and get, like, to the Reds, which is like a half and half, like, iffy team this year, because they look stacked right now, after, the way things look as of right this second. We picked up Alfredo Simon, who was a former ace on our team, alongside Johnny Cueto. So since we signed him back and he's going to be in our starting rotation, we're stacked this year, and hitting like we've been for the previous 5 years, but we've been letting go a lot of our pitchers, and a lot of our pitchers have just been going in general, and we need to work on that pitching, but that's all. So that's why the Reds are iffy, because if we can keep our pitching, under control, and not give up a whole lot of runs, our offense is gonna support our pitchers, like runs. We're just gonna be scoring over and over and over again, and other teams like the Yankees, they have a good team all around. Their bullpen is stacked. Their starting rotation isn't that good. That's really iffy. If their starting rotation is able to perform really well this year, then they're going to have a good season. If their offense, that's kind of iffy because some of their players, they perform at a high level, but some of them don't, do as well, or they battle injuries. And if the Yankees are able to stay healthy, that's mainly something that'll help them out. And just those iffy teams that battle injuries, and if they're able to stay healthy, that's what's going to make those teams iffy this year. So you want to move up to those kind of teams. I'm just giving examples and listing off why those teams, are in those iffy categories. Then you want to move up to teams like the Blue Jays and the Royals, and you want to move up to them teams. And then once you've taken over them, you practically just taken over everything. That's like you just took over the whole United States. Oh wait, crap, you have. So, you eventually can try and take over their stronghold, which is you want to go into Cincinnati, Ohio, and you want to play the Reds, and you want to take them out and take all of their fans away. Then go right ahead. Take out that stronghold if you would like. So, that's something I really like about that. And something that's really cool about that is you get to pick the direction that you want to start building your fans. So I would advise you to go, if it's automatic, where you're set to go. I believe it's in the Midwest, and it's just above Kansas, where the Royals are. It's somewhere I kind of want to say in South Dakota or something like that, and that's where they're at. Your team is going to be at. I would advise you to run along the Canadian border. If anything, just run along the Canadian border and just take out all the way down there. Go to the Mariners because they're a pretty easy team, and take them out. Go down, and I guess you could try and take out the Angels, but I wouldn't really try it. Considering their offense, pitching, that'd be easy to take out, but the offense would be pretty hard to maintain. But what's key about that is it's only 3-inning games. So, if you get Mike Trout out and Albert Pujols out, and you're able to set them down, you're good to go. You got Cole Calhoun. You're able to sit him down. You may not have to face him again that game. So that's what's really key about things as well. Something else that they added in this game, in the Show 16, moving on to Road to the Show, is perks and Showtime. And basically, Showtime is able to slow down things. You can use it in Road to the Show and when you're player locking. So, you slow down time, which, you're able to, I would prefer you do this specifically, I would advise you to use this if you're using zone hitting. If you're about to use Showtime, go into your settings and change the zone hitting or whatever. I advise you, I prefer you do use the wedge, because that's the best, guys, believe me. It has the dot in the middle. I know it's going off. It gets annoying. Believe me, it should be fine. If I don't die, it's okay. So, yeah, jeez, I look so tired. Right. What was I talking about? Oh, Showtime. So you're able to slow things down. And if you're using that zone hitting, like I said, use wedge, because it has the dot in the middle, and it kind of shows where the handle of your bat is at and where the end of your barrel is at. So it's showing the complete sweet spot of your bat. So you're just able to knock that ball perfectly. While as in, if you use reticle, it's it's just showing this little zone area, and if you have that dot in the middle, you know exactly how to center that ball, get that dot a little bit under the ball, and you're able to knock that ball out of here and hit it as a home run. So that is why I would advise that if you're using Showtime, because you get that dot just under the ball, and you knock that ball out of here. If it's a breaking ball, get that dot a little bit, down and away from the ball. So if you're like right-handed, you want to, drag that reticle over so it's, kind of down and away in the zone, and that side of the ball, and still hit it on the edge of the ball though, and then knock that ball. That ball will go flying and it'll be gone. So that's why I advise you to use zone hitting, and specifically the wedge, when using Showtime. In pitching, you can use Showtime as well, so you can like slow time down and pinpoint the exact location without having to worry about your control. And you're able to just knock that pitch straight in there, strike three, whatever. And your little things that you can use, I forget exactly what they're called now. I just said it earlier. But basically, they just help you out. There's like one where it's like all pitches are in the strike zone. There might be some with like boosts and stuff like that. So it's really cool off that. Then something else that they added in was, which I'll get into this, more and more later on in the later videos here. Something else that they added in was in franchise mode. You can see the player in the background. Also, when you're signing a player, it determines on many things that go into it, and I'll make more videos like discussing the exact things in these, so I'll gather extra information that I haven't had today, and look more into these things and be able to tell you guys about it more in depth in some other videos, because I have to get like a lot done right here. So something else is, you guys probably know this or not. You might not know it. They have the updated things like every day. They'll have an inside edge scouting report for every player and every pitcher, and your base overall of the player, it will stay the same every day until they do a roster update, which I think they said like every Monday. But the inside edge will either boost, like bump up their overall, or bump down their overall, determining how they did in real life that day, or or if they haven't played that day yet, then it'd go off the previous day. And that's really cool that they added that in there. Something else that they added in with players, not just inside edge, but they did stat tracking, which is, you could look at David Ortiz from his rookie season. You could look at Alex Rodriguez from his rookie season. You can go down and look at every single year from these players. I'd like to go to like the Legends and see if they have stat tracking on there. They might not, but if they do, that's going to be absolutely wonderfully amazing. Because you just go and it's like, okay, he hit that many, he hit that many, he hit that many, he hit that many. Oh gosh, this guy is good. Which is really cool, because you get to look at, you don't have to look it up online to see exactly how they've done in previous years, So you can really look in depth at the way things looked for them. Something else that they added in was flashback cards, and that's the last thing I'm going to talk about right now today. Flashback cards. There are prime flashbacks and there are rookie flashbacks. The rookie flashbacks are people like Josh Hamilton. They have an Ichiro flashback, which is technically a prime flashback, considering he came over here, and he was in his prime at the time. But you have a lot of players, that are like prime flashbacks. Like, I remember looking at the Reds. You have a 2011 Brandon Phillips, which is that's the card from him. but I believe they're going off the 2010 season, I think, which they should probably go off the 2008 season because that's when he hit 30 home runs, but I'm not the one. I'm not the part of the people who make the video game. One day I hope that I can work with San Diego Studios and work there for them, but that's just down the road for me. Let's see here. What's another example of like a prime flashback? Because I said the rookie flashbacks like Ichiro. Prime flashbacks is like the Texas Rangers version of Alex Rodriguez. They have that. They have a prime flashback of Pujols, which is really cool. And of course, they've added in more legends. Like last year for the Reds, they had Johnny Bench, and this year they're adding in Joe Morgan. Twitch, which is really cool. And let's see here. So yeah, you have prime flashbacks, rookie flashbacks. I know. I was talking about the Reds flashbacks of the prime. There is also a Todd Frazier flashback from when he was with the Reds in 2014, which he did better than he did in 2015. Even though he hit more home runs in 2015, he had a higher batting average, and he just overall did better in 2014. And everything he did that year just came out of nowhere, really. They also have a Chris Heisey prime flashback, which is really cool. He's like a 71, but last time I checked, last time they showed off the flashbacks for the Reds, the overalls aren't complete, and they still aren't complete. For the flashbacks, I'm not sure. I don't think they're finished yet. They're still going through that and seeing what they should do exactly, but things are looking really cool. You have a flashback. You don't have a flashback Joey Votto, but you do have a flashback. I think there's a flashback Jay Bruce. Yeah, there's a flashback Sin-Soo Choo when he was with the Reds, which is the best season that he's had in the major leagues up to this point. And then there's also a prime flashback of who was it? I can't think of who it is. There's a rookie flashback, though, of Josh Hamilton. So that's probably who I was thinking of. But I'll go more in depth with things like the way that the ballparks look and everything. I'll get more into that in the next few days. But I hope you guys are excited like I am. And yeah, I will see you all later.